Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Growing Together in Love podcast. My name is Charlene Roberts.
And I am Akil Roberts.
And here we'll be talking about God's faithfulness and wisdom in marriage, relationship, parenting, and more. We're glad you're able to join us on our journey through real life struggles and wins as we continue to grow together in love. God's love, that is. So sit back, relax, let someone know the Roberts are on, and enjoy the episode.
Episode 3.
We're back.
Woo, we made it. So, how's your day?
It was good. It was chill.
It was raining.
It was very rainy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in my condition, made me want to just sleep all day.
Yes. And what condition is this at? What is this, July 8th?
5 weeks away from giving birth to our 6th child.
6th child.
Yes.
I know when you go to the store
6th child.
And you walk in there with 5 kids and a belly full.
Yes.
People looking your way.
We're famous when we walk into anywhere.
You feel famous?
I feel famous. At least that's how I'm chugging it up to be, because I don't want to think negative. Mm-hmm. So the other thought is to, well, girl, you're famous. Okay, they're just looking, they're watching, they're just seeing.
They're just staring.
Want to ask questions? Some of them do.
Mm-hmm. What's some questions you get?
Oh, the questions. Like recently, we went to, I by myself. I think I get more questions when I'm by myself. And you can tell me your perspective. But I was recently at returning something at a department store, and the girl's ringing me up, and she's looking, but she's like, at the end of the thing, she's like, are all of them yours? It's like one of the famous questions. All of them yours? Mm-hmm. Yes, all of them are mine. Mm-hmm. I'm not babysitting. We're not on a field trip. They're all mine. Mm-hmm. So, and then the next question is, how do you do it? And of course, I have to give glory to God through it all. I point up and say, by God's grace, and leave it at that. Usually that shuts down the conversation. Nobody else wants to say anything else about it. But they're really curious to see a mom, 5 little ones behind her, and a big belly is like, yeah, that's not really happening too much these days. So
yeah, not much. I mean, there's small pockets, I guess, but
yeah. You
just took the same question I was going to say. When it comes to me, I only get one question, and then after that, they keep it moving. Mm-hmm. They ask, are they all yours? I'm like, yeah. Like, who else would they be? Like, I'm just going to have someone else's kids? My biggest thought is, they don't all look like me to a large extent. They mostly look
like you, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, you can't tell that they all mine? Like, why would I just be walking around with 5 random kids?
Yeah.
It's just, but they don't have anything else after that. They just keep walking. It's surprise and keep walking.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Like, okay, well, we know, like, the days that we're living in. Back in the days, it was very,
common to have a big family.
I come from a very big family. I think my grandma had 13 kids or 14 kids. So I have an unlimited amount of cousins. We can't even name them all, to be honest.
Cousins on cousins on cousins.
Lots of cousins. So many cousins.
That's a blessing.
It is a huge blessing. But nowadays, I think people kind of look at having a large family, as many things. It can be an inconvenience. There's a lot of stereotypes of kids are so expensive. Why are you having so many kids? And it's true. Kids are costly as far as, of course, we have to keep up with caring for them. But that's one of the reasons. But why do you think, like, society looks at families of more than 3 as, like, what are you doing?
More than 3 kids, or just
more than
a family of 3? Because there's a lot of people who just only want 1 or just 2. True. But more than 3 kids, people have an understanding. I think it's an innate understanding that to be a good parent, you have to be self-sacrificial to an extent, even if they've not been a parent before. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
And so for some, not everyone, but for some, they want to quote unquote live their best life and not have anything holding them back or tying them down or any burdens or any responsibilities on the level of another little human being that for a large part of their young life totally rely on you. 250% rely on you. And that's a heavy, I guess that's a heavy task, or that's a heavy responsibility for those who maybe when they look at themselves, they don't even feel confident that they can take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how they don't want to think down that path. So I'm just guessing, just throwing out some maybes out there. But
I mean, don't get it twisted. We know it is, anybody knows taking care of or caring for anyone, children or an elderly parent or anyone in your care is a sacrifice, and it is difficult. It is hard. So we're not sitting back and saying that, oh, this is just the easiest thing. It's not. It is. You have your difficult days. You have your hard days. But I think, and I have seen on our end, we've seen the reward of and the blessings of having our 5, 6 on the way. And we're thankful for that. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't take it back.
Mm-mm. Nope. Here's what I threw in there, can be difficult. It's because the truth is, it's all perspective. For someone who's working or doing something, their perspective could either be, again, or it could be, it's just part of what it is. Keep it moving. And I think that a lot of the difficulties that we face, if we look back at it in retrospect, if we had a different perspective on it, it wouldn't have been as difficult. I think our minds and our emotions can multiply the difficulty. And I say that too because Christ said, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. So though physically it was extremely difficult, he still had a joy that he kept through it. Imagine going through the same thing with no joy. Mm-hmm. And that's even 10 times harder, Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes when we go through difficult situations, yeah, it can be taxing physically. But like I was sharing with Zaria, this is like the 3rd time we brought her up almost every episode.
Yeah.
Mind over matter. Like, just getting her hair done. She's tender-headed.
Yeah, let's not talk about the hair.
And she's used to immediately crying as soon as she feels anything. Yeah. You grab the comb. I've been watching. You grab the comb. You don't even touch her with the comb. And she starts crying. Mm-hmm. Literally, you don't touch her. But at the most, you grab the tip of her hair with the comb in your hand.
She's anticipating the pain.
Exactly. So her mind is already taking her to that place that's like, this hurts. Yeah. It's perspective, right? She looks at it in truth, and you haven't even started yet at that time. So there's nothing to hurt physically. But even when the physical pain does come in, I mean, we see it through so many situations in the most extreme cases sometimes. Warriors and soldiers, mothers giving birth. There's like some extreme pain going on the body.
Of course.
And then there is a way to kind of displace some of that pain mentally. If you're able to focus, not everyone's able to focus. Not everyone's able to hone in and grit the teeth and push through. But that's why I told her mind over matter, because all that pain she was feeling that she wasn't feeling physically was all in her head. And that can definitely be a multiplier where any feeling is amplified when we're in that mental state. So I say all that to come back to some of those difficulties are legitimately difficult, just in the natural. but some of them is also mental state.
I mean, of course, it's gonna be a mental push in any circumstance, right? Any circumstance that causes you to stretch beyond yourself. Right now, my body is physically going through a stretching, and it's physically hurting, but it's also mental because I think even in this pregnancy, I felt myself getting a lot more anxious a lot earlier than past pregnancies. Like I'm almost at the finish line. Usually around the 2 weeks finish line or getting close, you find yourself mentally like, okay, the body is exhausted. The mind is exhausted. Everything is just like, okay, let's get this done and over with, right? But recently I found myself getting more anxious of like, okay, I really want this to be done pregnant a little earlier than expected. So it's and then I had to regroup myself and mentally say, no, there's still time. You don't want him to be born early. You want him to be healthy and strong. And so I had to regroup and refocus mentally that this is the process and the process is good. The pain is there. It's not going anywhere. The heaviness of my stomach and all of this, things that are taxing on my body, it's there, but the end is good. And so like you brought up, if I'm focused on the end, then in the midst of the pain, in the midst of, whatever I'm going through, I can see the end result of holding our baby, of seeing him healthy and not going through any complications and all those things of maybe having him premature. So, yeah, it is both. I really think is, making sure your mindset is right and also making sure that, your perspective is focusing on the end result, the good. And that's how I see our children. Like I always constantly think of like, what is it? Holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas when they're older and everybody's around and they have their children, grandchildren are there and all 6 of them are here. And it's just like, that's what I look forward to. I look forward to all of those wonderful years. I mean, the growing up ages is a little difficult on the day to day, but I do look forward to the family times that we're going to share later on.
What perspective or advice or insight would you give to someone, maybe a mom, maybe a dad, who is trying to differentiate between pain that's part of the process and pain that we could just stop and not have to deal with?
What do you mean pain? Well, you can just
like some pains are options. Some difficulties are options. It's like, well, I'm not going for prime example. Especially around here where we're at on certain days, the pain of waiting in line at the grocery store, that's an option. It's like, I know I need to do this for the family, and this is going to be taxing, but I know today is packed. So that's an optional pain. I don't have to sit through this line. If we're good for the day, we'll go the day when everybody else is at.
It's a discomfort. I don't know about how much painful that is to stand in line, but it's comfort.
It's painful for me. So, but there are other things like the process of a child throwing a tantrum, right?
Yeah, been there, done that plenty of times.
So some could see it as a process. Some could see it as, no, I'll just give them what they want and there's no tantrum. Or, no, I'll just discipline them and there's no tantrum. What advice would you give someone to help them differentiate between this is something I got to push through and versus this is something that I have full authority to bring to just stop.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't even know how to. I have. I don't know. That's a good question. Never thought about it.
Because I'll use our beautiful daughter as an example. That is discomfort or pain to her and or to you to go through that situation of doing her hair, where you could opt to just pay for someone else to do her hair. You could opt to just do
Which I want to do.
sometimes.
Times. Yeah.
You could opt to just do a hairstyle so simple and so effortless, and
Which I also do.
may not look great. So, that's, or you could opt to, okay, it's time to braid this, I'll go first, because when I think about that, like, there are certain aspects. I think for me, a differentiator is this something in the season I'm in with God that God has already given me understanding that this is what I should be going through, or this is what I got to go through. Because if it is, then I'll put the perspective as this is part of the process, and let me go through it now so I don't have to go through it later on a more difficult level or on a more important level, or whatever it is. Let me finish this now. Where though it is discomforting, it is not fun, it is difficult, I understand that this is the season that I'm in with God. That this is part of that season. And so let me go through it. Versus this thing is from left field. This ain't nowhere near part of the season. Do I have the authority to stop this or put this to an end? Because I got enough to carry and deal with. I got enough to focus on than to allow this other pain point or pressure point take my distraction away. Because that other pain or pressure point is not part of my process. It's not part of what God is doing in my life at this moment. So it's not that serious. So that's how I try to come back to a more like level ground on things. Like, is this part of the growth process to something in the future that God has already revealed? Or is it just something that has nothing to do with my growth process, but it's trying to have me go through it as if it is? Because that's a distraction to me. Like, there's so much. We have 5 children, number 6 on the way. There's so many other ways to exert energy and attention to than to something that would be difficult for me to go through, but has no bearings on where God is taking me.
I don't know how I would give advice on differentiating the two. Definitely being okay. So the only way I can say is just being led by the Spirit. That's the only way I can think that you have to differentiate whether this is a you process or it's a process God is bringing you through to grow you and to stretch you, to build you, to perfect you to look more like Him in any situation. So without the Holy Spirit, I don't know how people do that. So I don't know how to give advice in that area. For me, I can tell personally the difference between, okay, this is just me right now, and or okay, God, you're trying to show and reveal something in this situation for me to grow and to get better and to look more like you. But yeah, for someone who doesn't have Spirit, I don't know. I can give advice in that sense.
Since we're kind of talking about hair, I have a future vision of all the boys being capable of cutting each other's hair and my hair. That's a future vision. Seeing them at 19, 20, 21, all those ages, like that the ability is there. Now, whether they choose to let their brothers cut their hair or not, that's between them, right? That's their choice. That would be their choice as teenagers and adults. But I do want them all to have the ability to do so, because that's a lot of money between us all. That's a lot of money. It's coming right now, and who knows, a couple years later, it's going to be, they're like, what? Only that much? Right now, it's close to like $25 to $30 just for my hair.
Mm.
And so you multiply that by 6.
5. Oh, but yourself. 6.
Myself.
Yeah.
You multiply that by 6. And that's a lot of money. So that's why the hope or the goal is, for us to be able to do each other's hair. So when I have to teach at one how to sit there and get a haircut, that's not pleasurable. Like, because we wait till 1 to get their first haircut. Or at 2, like, those early stages is not fun, right? But I knew, like, after Akil and after AC, when the mirrors went on, I was like, there has to be some sort of system that I can, like, kind of usher them through to get them all on the same page that this is a haircut, it's not scary, you don't have to cry, so on and so forth. And now Amir, he's so excited that he gets to choose his own style coming up. Because wait till like 8 for him to choose his style. And so he's planning and prepping what type of style he wants. So now, something that he used to be fearful of, he's excited about, right? Then my goal is for AJ to start learning and AC to start learning how to hold the clippers, how to cut. Maybe have one of them start to learn how to cut Aaron's hair. Practice on each other. But perspective. Because for others, it's like, look, this is too much. I'm going to just take it to the barber. Right? So, that's also kind of where I get some of that from. That understanding of perspective.
Did you think that you would be a father of 6?
Definitely not.
Well, we have someone that said that you want the big family.
And I don't know where they got that from. I knew for the longest, for sure I wanted for 2 boys, 2 girls. Mm-hmm. Now it's outside of Christ. So that's in the world thinking I'm going to get married one day, 4 kids, good number, 2 girls, 2 boys, happy, yeah. But in Christ, whatever God say. Every time people ask, when I said whatever God say, I meant whatever God say. Mm. And so God say 5 boys and a girl.
Ta-da! It happened.
Whatever God say.
Yeah. So babies, yep. We talked about a lot of stuff. We're talking about babies, society, people's thoughts towards children. Yeah.
This was a simple one. All hearts and minds clear.
Yeah. I guess next time we can talk about some birthing stuff.
Catching babies.
Mm-hmm. How you call our daughter?
Next time. But yeah, thank you all for listening to our podcast. Episode 3, wrapping it up. All hearts and minds clear. Pray that you all have a wonderful week, whoever's listening. May God lead, guide, and bless you. Peace out.
Bye.